Lunch with Lea, episode 504. And here's Lea.
Hi, everybody. Is everyone fabulous today? Oh, I forgot my fabulous scarf. RJ gave me this scarf. Isn't it fabulous? I have to doll myself up, and all I wear is stretch pants and tops. So I have all my jewelry on. None of it's real. Well, this is Chanel. But the rest of it's costume. Do you think? Fabulous?
You look
We
great.
used to sell this in our collection. I don't think we have any of these pieces anymore. Anyway, what am I rambling? You know I'm rambling because I am so bored with myself right now. It's like Groundhog Day every single day, except for, of course, for the news, which is driving everyone crazy. So what's going on with everybody? Well, today when I left my house, they'll tell you every day I get here, there's a disaster going on at my house. The little one, doesn't he look cute? He got groomed this morning. Hi, baby. So the dog groomer was there. So that means they back out the car, they put the table in, they put the fan up, and no one's supposed to go in the garage, and she does one dog at a time. Then the dog stays out in the sun 10 minutes, and we take the Lysol wipe and we wipe the dog, and then the dog goes in the house. This is how particular we are at the house. I go out there. One of the guys that comes and does stuff at the house, standing in the garage, talking to everybody, didn't have a mask on. I'm like, why am I going to all this trouble if you're going to come in here without a mask? So I went and got 3 masks, and he said, well, it was wet. It was wet, so I had to take it off. Well, then carry an extra one. What is wrong with you? So I got 3 masks, and the paper ones, and I gave it to them to take and had them spray down the whole garage again. But the thing is, then I told Paul, I said, Paul, here's a box of mask. I've told you 10 times, if anyone walks on the property and they don't have a mask, you give them a mask. Oh no, we have a box in the garage. Then why aren't we using it? Honestly, you could have a nervous breakdown staying at your house all day, every day. I think I would pay to go to work, not to be at that house. It's exhausting. I mean, honestly, and they try so hard. It's just that no one's aware. You know, people are just not aware. I don't know. I notice everything. That's a problem. You know what I told you before, it's really hard when you're the smartest one around. So we had another big rainstorm the other night. So the lightning was crazy. Did you guys feel that? What is going on? James, why don't you get that stool right there and sit on it? Look, that black one where the speaker is. And then you'll be up higher. James broke his, what was it, your foot or your toe?
My foot. It's almost better, but
You can't wear your Versace shoes.
no. I mean, I've been okay, and it's been about 7-8 weeks Sunday. But yesterday I was in the yard and I twisted it last night, and it's real sore today.
Because
so.
you can't wear your Versace tape. You're supposed to be going through
Actually,
the
I got to be very honest. The Versace chain reaction shoes are probably the most comfortable shoes that I've. Yeah, and they fit, and they have a lot of support in them. So
This is what it's like coming to work. Jason's telling me about YSL's his new favorite. James has on a big old Versace shirt. It's a big old Versace. It looks pretty though, I will say that. I'd like to have that fabric. Wouldn't that be fabulous in a black and white house?
Yes.
And then we're talking about, this is our life. This is how bored we are that we're talking about shoes, shirts, and masks. Oh, and Jason bought me a box of these other masks. They're really the best because I guess
those are
this
the
thing right here.
N95s. Yeah.
It's an N95, but it's not the medical grade N95.
You have
it's
to
the next
put the
one
filter
down,
in it.
Commercial one, I guess. But it's easier to breathe in it. I will say that. Oh my God! Speaking of the rainstorm. So when it started lightning really bad, I went around and unplugged everything because I didn't want to have another blowout. But Jason, we need to make sure. Did we ever get that surge protector on the house?
It's always stored.
Well, I ran around and unplugged everything, but I was like, I can't do this again. It's just too much. Anyway, so this girl says, Susie, she goes, shout out to Susie, your home girl. Susie, the best realtor in Savannah. She's, I guess, from Miami. So shout out to Susie in Havana.
Or Savannah, yeah. I think
Savannah,
she's
Georgia.
moved there now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's
Is
a Miami girl. Yeah, that's the same
Is
one
this the same
from.
one over here?
Yeah, that was from
I
her.
was going to see if I could. Oh, Susie Prado. Okay, Susie. Well, good luck in Savannah. You know, Roy Jr. Roy and I spent like 6 weeks in Savannah at a really nice hotel when Roy had a trial there with a guy who was unfortunately convicted. But I remember Savannah well. I think that's when RJ got addicted to video games because he was about 4 and there was nothing to do. So he just played on the video. And then I found out the video games were like $20 a video. I almost had a heart attack. I went down and negotiated for so much a day. But that was the babysitter.
I love that city.
It is beautiful.
It is my favorite.
Isn't it?
It is my favorite city besides Miami.
It's beautiful.
I almost moved there, and I've always said maybe when I retire that might be where I go.
It's
But
nice.
I
I will
love
tell you
Savannah.
this,
It's
it's
beautiful.
very red, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Oh, yeah,
that
it's Georgia.
jury and that judge, that was a hang-em judge.
Yeah.
Meanwhile.
No, one of my best friends used to live there, and I used to go down and DJ parties for him when I was in college all the time. And I love the city. It was actually the only city they didn't burn down during the Civil War, and they gave it away because it was so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
gorgeous.
so then let's see what else. I don't know what that. Oh, you got to watch that movie, that series, Transplant. It's really good. I've been watching that. And then did you guys watch the Biden town hall in Miami?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
the city looked so pretty, didn't it?
Yeah.
The lights in the back and the bridge, and then they had it all spread out with the circles where everybody was standing apart. And I thought it was just a beautiful showcasing of Miami. And the content was good too, but I just thought it was so nice to showcase Miami that way, the outside, going over the causeway and the lights in the background. So we were just a proud hometown. So then yesterday, oh my God, I went to Home Depot. Outside, I can't even believe I did this. I don't know if I've been to Home Depot. Maybe once or twice in LA, maybe once here in my entire life. But we needed some stuff for the house, and I didn't want Paul and them to go. I don't trust them because look what we do. We spray our hands every 5 seconds with alcohol wherever we go. Whenever we get a basket, we spray the basket down. Then sometimes I wear the gloves and I throw them away. Then I put the mask on, and then I put the eye goggles or the big sunglasses on. So I went there. It is so hot. I didn't realize how hot it was. It must be 200 degrees here, and it's humid. I was outside in that garden thing I got 5 bags of potting soil, which I didn't even know you needed. The woman told me. 2 bags of the mulch to go on the top. She said I needed 2 bags. I got 5 because $2 a bag. I said I don't want to ever come back here again. So give me 5.
And you'll probably need 8.
You will.
No, and if you bought 8, you'll need 10.
Really? So I don't
And if you buy 10, you'll need 12.
So then I have to ask, what plant can you put outside that lasts forever, that looks good, that grows this high? So get the plant. By the time I got in the car, plus I don't want anyone touching those bags, so I lifted them myself because I don't want anyone touching the bags. Then I get out to the car, I spray them all down with alcohol, then I put them all in the truck. But the time I got in the car, I thought I was going to have a heat stroke. It was so hot. It took me the entire day, including last night. I took 2 naps to recover from the heat. Yeah. I don't know how these people work outside. I went home today and I pulled out a $100 bill for everybody that works outside. I'm going to give it to them on Friday as a bonus. I don't know how anybody can work outside in this heat in Miami with a mask on top of that. Yeah. And I told Paul yesterday, I said, Paul, if you're the only one here and you're outside, you don't have to wear your mask. Because every time I go out there, I look out the window, he has a mask on at 200 degrees and he's the only one out on that side of the yard. I said, as long as the other guy's on that side and you're on that side and there's no one else here, you don't have to wear your mask. Because there's no reason to, and it's literally, it's so hot.
No, it's horrible. I've been working out in my yard,
I don't
and
even know how
it's
anybody can do it.
yeah. I thought I had to stop like 3 times because I thought I was going to pass
I
out.
literally thought I couldn't. Had like shortness of breath, you know. And then I called Brendan. I said, you know, Brendan, I was planning to come to LA around the 15th. What's the weather? He goes, it's 85 to 90 there, and the air quality is horrible from the fires. So I can't go till the air quality's clear and the weather is cool. Because if I go in that house in LA and it is that hot and we can't open up the windows and Roy does not like that air on because it dries his eyes out and then he gets a headache, I'll be divorced. Because can you imagine? I'd spend the money to fly out there, freight it, all the dogs, all of us, take all the stuff I've been wanting to take for a long time that I can't carry on the plane because we never check bags. And I get out there and it's 90 degrees inside, the glass shining right inside the house, and oh my God. And then you can't go outside and you can't open the door. And he said you can't even see downtown. Usually from my house you can see downtown.
It's probably full of smoke.
It is. The air is not clear. It's from the fires. Speaking of, I have it over here, how many acres. Anyway,
I read
that
5 acres a second is what they said the other morning is burning. How fast it's burning.
I have it here somewhere in the news. I'm going to see if I can find it. But it's so many, 8,200 fires have burned over 4 million acres. Are you kidding?
Yeah, they said it's about 5 acres a second.
Oh my God. The poor firefighters. They got all that equipment on, and they're risking their life. They're hurting their lungs. They can't breathe, and they're making no money. And thank God the governor gave all the ex-convicts that got out of prison that had been doing the fires year after year after year. Thank God it gave them some kind of accommodation, and they're getting paid like the other firefighters now. They were doing it, I guess, for part of their I mean, it's just horrible. I wish it would just rain. I wish it just like deluge for like 3 days. And
Yeah,
just
but you don't want that
everything
either,
out.
because then you'll have mudslides on everything. The
Yeah,
mudslides will be
just
putting
where
out the
rain
fires.
is, just where the fires are.
Yeah.
Then did you guys watch Saturday Night Live? I love James.
I did not.
I love what's his name?
Oh, I did see
James, what's his
the
name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. I love him so much. I think he's so talented.
Let me
He's
show you
so
something.
Funny. Yeah, he's just hilarious. And I love him so much. He was so good. Anyway, and in Real Housewives, I hear that Kathy Hilton is going to join part-time on Beverly Hills. There's a little backstory there, but I'm not going to say about anything unless it comes out on the show. Maybe things will change, but there was a reason they wanted her on there. Gossip, gossip. I should start a gossip column, really. Just dish all the dirt. New Jersey.
You do. It's an hour long called Bitch with Leah.
Yeah, bitch it out. Nene called Andy a racist and a manipulator when she was on there with Andy Cohen. I didn't see it, and I didn't know that, and I read that. Is that true?
Yeah, that's why when Wendy Williams was on there, that she got mad at both of them. Yeah, she did.
But why would she call him a racist and a manipulator?
She said that something about she did a video. There's like a little video and she says that the reason was because that they've been trying to force her out. She's an OG. She is the only OG of color. They have let all these other white OGs across all the other franchises stay on way past, and she was going on and on and on.
I had your back until you said that.
Yeah, I did too.
First of all, everybody on Atlanta except for the one girl one time, Kim, was black. 2, they have Potomac black. 3, on a lot of Broadway shows, they have black people. They are not racist. He is not racist. Now, manipulator, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, we'll take that one to the bank.
Yeah, newsflash. I want everyone to know this. This is a big secret. Okay, that was funny. And
Shady
Sutton,
Andy.
Yeah.
He loves
Sutton said that when Teddy was leaving that are all sad. It was such fun getting to meet her or know her, and that she'll stay busy and that she'll have a great life after the show, and she'll be out on top of whatever she does. So that was just very gracious, classy thing.
And they listed their house, Teddy's house, and they're moving out into Encino.
Near Kyle. They're all living there. Why don't they somebody said, why don't they call it the Housewives of the Valley? They all live in the Valley.
Yeah, that's what
Meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with the Valley, but it's not Beverly Hills. Well, the problem with the Valley really is the heat. That's really the only problem. It's fabulous. And the hills and the rolling hills and the beautiful views and the canyon views, it's just too hot. So that's, for me, my only thing. Now, if you're in LA, it's kind of like shade if you say someone lives in the Valley. I don't know why. I guess it's more expensive maybe living not in the Valley, but it's not any of that, because you get big, beautiful homes and mansions and rolling hills and gorgeous views and the sunset and the whole thing. But it's hot. It's 10 degrees hotter, at least, maybe more. Okay, so I did that one. And then, what was that thing last week on the Real Housewives of New York? Did you watch that? I tried to watch it and turn it off.
It was just it was the end of the, how they'll do the 3-part reunion, and then they'll do like the hidden secrets or it's just outtakes and things that didn't make the actual show.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah. It was like but I got to tell you, I know you're not watching, but Potomac is so on fire. I got to tell you, there hasn't been a season of any of the franchises that good since maybe Miami was on. It reminds me of like season 2 Miami drama. It's got that much going on with it, and it's like just as soon as something else happens, and even the men, like, they're in the thick of it all. It's not just one storyline. There's like 3 or 4 big things happening on that show. So they're really bringing it.
Season 2 of Miami, they had all the producers here.
Yeah.
Season 3, one was in Atlanta, one was in Brazil, and they turned it over to another, like the second in line, and it was a different show because the Mean Girls hijacked it. I mean, that's really what happened. The Hate Club. So Elise from New York says she claims Ramona banned her from appearing on Watch What Happens Live. She said that on a podcast that she was supposed to be on the show. They canceled her after the cameo that she and Lea did. That was the one about Ramona needing a diaper, let's put it that way. So they wanted me to talk about why I wasn't friends with Ramona anymore. They wanted me to talk about why Ramona couldn't meet a man. So when I was doing the cameo, I was like, well, Ramona with her 50 friends, now she's down to 49 because I'm out, and you want to know why she can't meet a man. And I called Lea in. I thought Lea was going to come in and say because Ramona is 1% and the men can't, what? I thought Lea was going to come in and say because Ramona is the 1%, what does that mean? And men can't get an erection around her. What in the hell does that mean? She continued, I was shocked when Lea came in and said, oh, it's because she poops during sex. Oh my God. I mean, literally. And so she said that's why they cut her off the show. And let's see, she said, in hindsight, I never should have done it, but I'm not the one who said it. So why do I get canceled? When, Watch What Happened Live, Ramona went crazy over the cameo. Yeah. Blah, blah, I don't know. Some guy commented.
And supposedly they've given Ramona her apple for next year, so.
Yeah, I don't think she's going anywhere for a while. But you do have to admit, she's fucking crazy sometimes. I mean, she's just fun to watch sometimes. Sometimes she's annoying to watch, but other times, she's just like bipolar on TV, but not in real life.
She reminds me of someone that you and I know that was actually at her party. That's who she reminds me of, because she's like, 1 minute she's one way, and then the next, absolutely.
I mean, it's just, I don't know if she wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, if she drinks a little Pinot Grigio too much, or she just, I don't know, but on one hand, she is fun to watch. On the other hand, it's just like, oh my God, she pushes all your buttons. I could see why they keep her. She's controversial, whatever. So meanwhile, I guess you guys all saw Trump. We went over this last week. He only paid $750 in taxes 2 years in a row, and in 10 years he paid none. But meanwhile, he's in the world's most sophisticated medical facility in the entire world, living off of the land, the grifter that he is. I'm not saying that anyone wants him to be sick, but I am saying that they have ridiculed the mask, made fun of the mask, made fun of the social distancing, made it non-manly to wear a mask. They've actually just, the White House employees are saying that they got in trouble when they wore a mask. They were told not to wear a mask. So, when you set up a Petri dish and it gets full of a viral load, what do you expect? But I will say this. I think Chris Christie and Rudy Giuliani, who are both older and compromised with some underlying health, like Rudy Giuliani had cancer and chemotherapy a few years back. Chris, what's his name, has, the governor, Chris Christie, has asthma and a weight issue. I think they were under the assumption when they went in that room with closed doors and a small quarters to do the debate prep with Trump, which obviously didn't do much good, that everybody at the White House is being tested every day. I think that's what everybody thought. They thought everybody's getting tested every day, so there's no security risk here.
A false sense of
and the truth is, they weren't getting tested. They won't even give the last negative test result on Trump. The reason they want is because apparently one of the insiders said that he hadn't been getting tested for a very long time because it was inconvenient. He didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. So everyone thinks that he's not infected, and it turns out he's a super spreader. The other thing I'll say is when you think about the Supreme Court justice, this is just divine intervention. You're railroading this woman who is the antithesis of everything Ruth Bader Ginsburg was. She thinks that she should be subservient to her husband. She thinks women shouldn't have a right to choose. She's anti-immigration, even though it goes on, the list goes on. She wants to shut down the affordable health care. All these things are, everything is complete opposite Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and they want to give her that seat. And then, in order to rush it through, they go and have an outdoor thing with 200 people, which hardly anybody had a mask. The video shows them hugging, shaking hands, patting each other on the back, cheering rah rah. Then they go inside and have other events inside, and they want to know why 30 plus people are infected, including 11 staffers, the assistant to the president, a lot of these lower level people. Those are the ones I feel sorry for. I don't feel sorry for all these rich people that are buying seats on the Supreme Court catching anything. They knew better.
Yeah.
But these poor people that have to work there to spread it to them, to me, that should be criminal.
It's like they're disposable. It is criminal.
Because remember, when AIDS is going around, if you went and had unprotected sex or you didn't disclose that you had HIV or AIDS, you could go to jail for that.
You still can.
You can still.
Yeah.
Well, now they've got COVID, which is lethal. It's deadly, and it's spread in the air. And then on top of it, you've got these people disregarding all the CDC guidelines and their own White House guidelines, catching the virus and spreading it to people at the White House that are working there, the staff. And they don't want to lose their jobs. They need the insurance. They need their jobs. They need the health care. They need all of it. And it just makes me sick that so many, like 11 staffers, the personal assistant, that guy Nick, Kellyanne Conway, the biggest, the other one, Kayleigh McEnany, the big liar. Three of her deputies. First of all, she has 3 deputies. Oh my God. Oh, how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? But anyway, her 3 deputies now have it. All of them were under the impression that these people are being tested. And I guarantee you the ones that were getting tested were the little people that are working there making the little amounts of money.
Yes.
And while all these high-powered rich people who have every resource in the world and insurance, and they can stay in their Hamptons home and stay in their houses and all this and that and have options and waiters and servants, are passing it around. That should just be criminal.
I saw this morning that there are more people infected with it now in that White House group than there are in the entire country of Taiwan.
Or New Zealand.
Yeah, that's what they said this morning. You've got some comments on the whole thing. First of all, Steve Sweeney said earlier that he bought some of those cookies, the lemon vanilla ones you had out last week.
Oh, those are good.
He said they are really good.
I like the vanilla ones better. The almond ones are the best,
Yep.
but the lemon ones are also good. But you know, if you want to take a vitamin, or you're just like a little queasy, or you're just like haven't eaten anything, 2 or 3 of those fill you up. It's like a whole piece of bread. They're like no calories, no sugar, no fat. I mean, there's some, but I love those. The Pilates teacher told me. Now, I'm not on a commission for that.
Yeah. Well,
My microphone. Oh, here it is.
it's right there. It's under the mic
As long as
or the scarf.
my microphone's working, I don't want anyone to miss one word of anything fabulous that I have to say.
Adam Dobson said, yes, the man who pays almost no taxes gets the best health care, but
Yes.
people who are low income and pay more taxes than him, get almost no health care, and he does not find that fair. He says, I'm concerned for Anthony Scalia's, whose wife was at the ceremony. She is much older as well. And then he wanted to know if you saw Watch What Happens Live last night, because he saw you on the...
I didn't, but I heard from different people, and I texted
He sent that to
James,
us this morning, actually.
and I said, is that an insult or a compliment? Because I didn't know who that girl was.
No, it was good. She's great.
Everyone
She's very
loves
funny.
her. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my adoring fans.
And then Katie said, "Can we get James in front of the camera and podcast with you?" But I have a voice for, or what is it? I have a face for radio.
I turned the camera around. Today's a good day to see the Versace shirt. I'll tell you that. Meanwhile, the U.S. trade deficit is the highest it's ever been in 14 years. Remember the big negotiator Trump who was going to fix all those trade agreements? Well, the deficit rose in August to the highest level in 14 years. Additionally, 25 residents went to this island in Tahiti, and they had been there for over 6 months. They couldn't get back to their mainland because of the virus. They finally got to go home on a French military plane. I wouldn't mind being it would depend who was with me. Let me take that back. If it was all people that I like and care about, and we had all the best fruits and vegetables and food, and we could just hang out and do nothing and no responsibilities, it wouldn't be so bad. But these people are stressing over their families or their kids or their relatives or the businesses or whatever. 6 months, that's like Gilligan's Island, But I'd have to be there with people I like, because if I wasn't with people I like, I wouldn't be able to handle it, because I'm down to the point where I have zero tolerance for people. Zero, especially the stupid ones. And there's a load of them. Let's see. I don't know what that means. I can't even remember it. Anyway, adults are drinking up to 14% more during the pandemic.
At least.
That doesn't surprise me either. You know why? I guess they're just stressed out and they don't have to drive if they're kind of staying home. I don't know.
Gosh. It's horrible. Sometimes
go ahead, what?
Sometimes it's like noon and I'm like, can I have a glass of wine yet? It's not even like midday.
I'm not much of a drinker.
I get up early and then it's like by noon, my day's like 5 o'clock at that point.
Oh, I'm just getting out of bed around noon. I can't deal with it. I have to sleep late. So then the balcony stunt, one of them tweeted that it's Covita versus Avita.
Let them eat COVID cake.
So all the people that were tested no, Pence was tested no for the COVID, but 3 senators tested yes. Yeah. Now they've already got 2 senators that are going to say they wouldn't vote for the judge, for any judge. So now there's 3, which would mean they couldn't get it passed. But Ron Johnson, the biggest jerk in the Senate, said if he had to go in a hazmat suit, he would vote. Yeah. This is how adamant they are of stealing the representation from the American people. Yep. 80% of Americans say, don't vote on this and let the Senate debate it after the election. Let the people and the new Senate have their say. That 20% want to railroad it through. Those religious nut jobs that Jerry Falwell, they follow him around and he's the one with the, pleasuring himself watching his wife, have sex with young boys that go to the university, the Trinity University. Apparently, according to an inside source I have, there's as many as 40 guys that are going to come out. So far, 9 have come out. Wow. There's apparently 40 that are going to come out. Apparently this wife procured them.
Yes.
She procured them. And then they would go have sex and Jerry would watch and pleasure himself. And this is their big religious leader that tells everybody who in the Christian coalition to vote for. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I just can't. And then you got Pence, the other big religious leader, who I guess his wife's going to have to sit next to him on that stage because he can't be with another woman without her being there, even for lunch. And he wants to give conversion therapy to anyone that's bisexual. I mean, these religious nuts, and there's supposed to be a separation between church and state. Why are we railroading this woman through who believes she should be submissive to her husband? I think the husband should be submissive to the wives because their wives are smarter. If Comey would have listened to his wife, he'd still be running the FBI and Hillary Clinton would be president. And we wouldn't be having this virus would have been over 6 months ago. Let me see who else.
Did you see the other day Hillary was on a Zoom call? It was an interview with one of the major networks. I forget what happened. And in the middle of it, it came up and it says, your free account time has ended. If you want to subscribe to Zoom Premium or whatever it was, like they cut her off in the middle of the thing. She was using a free trial of Zoom.
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't that funny?
I didn't even know you get a free trial. I'm set up on an iPad Zoom now, RJ's iPad.
That's kind of funny.
Meanwhile, so Biden tested negative, Kushner negative, the chief of staff negative, most of the other ones, and Chris checked himself into the hospital. Well, what a nice luxury to have, because other people go to the hospital and they say, you know what? You go home, bed rest, here, take this medicine, and if you can't breathe and you're dying, then come back. And by then it's too late. Yeah. But he's in the best hospital because he's the governor and he's connected. He subjected himself to the virus. The people I feel bad for are the people like me or you who go and carry the alcohol bottles, wear the mask, spray down everything before you touch it and bring it into the house, spray your shoes, take your shoes off, spray down your car, aerosol the house every hour. Those people that catch it, I feel terrible for. But the people that just catch it because they're just out being cavalier about it, I just don't have any sympathy for those people because they're spreading it. Whether they have it or not, they could be, whether they have symptoms or not, they could be spreading it. But a lot of people from that rose garden. Oh, and then Trump's on these drugs now. He's all pumped up on these steroids. And he's out there tweeting, I feel better than I've felt in 20 years. Woo! Can you question.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, when they gave him that steroid, I was like, the last thing, because it does give you like
A euphoric feeling.
euphoric
Yeah.
or like euphoric,
Like
you're
your Superman.
Superman, and you
Yeah.
can do more than you really
Yeah,
do.
like
And
cocaine
I
does
thought to
that.
myself, oh my God, he's the last person that I need to give that to.
So then he goes and he wants out of that hospital because he's high on these drugs, you know?
Yeah.
So he puts these poor Secret Service guys at risk. They have to put on hazmat suits to get into the limo, which is in the SUV, which is hermetically sealed. So no ventilation at all. And he gets in there and potentially infects them so that he can drive around and get a little applause from his little audience outside there. By the way, the little audience that's outside yelling and screaming and honking their horn, there are a lot of people in that damn hospital that are really sick and dying. They don't need that noise. He's just nuts. So then he finally says he's going to go to the White House. He's going to go back to the White House. Well, Melania had sense enough to say, I'm not going to go visit him because I don't want to spread the virus to the Secret Service people that would have to take me over to the hospital. The truth is, she's like, oh my God, I hope they keep him for a month. The most disappointed person in America the night he went home was Melania, but in any event, so he gets over to the White House, he goes up those stairs like, did you see the video they made, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina? A satire? He walks up there like a Mussolini wannabe and he salutes the helicopter? There was no one to salute, so he salutes the helicopter. In addition to that, he came back out and did it again for take 2. They wanted a better video. So he came back out and did the whole thing again. Now I figured out why. The first video, when they first got him, he was breathing really hard, gasping for air. So the second video, if you notice, he had had time to calm down after walking up the stairs.
He's still breathing out of his
He's
mouth.
still breathing hard. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with breathing hard if you're sick. It's the pretense and the BS that he's spouting. And then if you notice, his hair was perfectly coiffed. His makeup was really orange that night.
Oh yeah, did you see him the night before though?
Yeah,
he didn't
the night
have it
before,
on.
He didn't have it on. He
We
was
saw
white.
his real skin color.
Yeah, and his hands were done.
Yeah.
He did his hands with the makeup. So who did his hair, his makeup, and his hands? Whoever did that, they could have been infected too. So now he goes to the White House and he's not happy that he's in his room. He wants to go down to the Oval Office. So now they're making people, did you see those guys in hazmat suits
Yes.
like Ghostbusters, and they're spraying the whole White House down? So now, because he can't stay in his damn room, because all he does is watch TV and tweet anyway, and talk on the phone, usually the cell phone that's not even secure, they've got to readjust the whole White House to this walking Petri dish that's dropping virus everywhere he goes. And he's totally infected. And now he says he's going to do the debate. This is the drugs talking. This is the drugs talking. There was a doctor today that said he's probably not getting any sleep because these drugs are like amphetamines. It's called hydromethadone something. It's the meth in it that's giving him that larger than life grandiose. What do you think's going to happen when he crashes?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I mean, when he crashes,
Listen.
he's going to demand more medicine. That's what's going to happen.
Then-
He's psychotic.
I'm just telling you, the next month, if not next 3 months, it's gonna be scorch the earth.
It's going to be scorched earth. And by the way, this doctor was on too that said you feel euphoric, you can be psychotic, you have poor judgment. They should invoke the 25th Amendment.
Absolutely, it
But
should have
if
happened before he even went in.
Yeah, but if he were thinking straight and doing what's right for the country, he would have already done that. But when the minute he was tested positive and said, I'm going to be on drugs and medication, and I need to make sure, blah, 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 blah. And he doesn't want to, he's never going to give up that power.
No.
They think he's going to hand over power. He won't
He's
even
not even
hand
doing it
over.
when if he loses.
If he loses
Exactly.
the election, he's not going to hand it over.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Listen, we're gonna take our 5-second break for our commercial providers, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Meanwhile, 172 independent studies have said that masks reduce the viral load and they reduce the risk of people catching it. So It reduces your risk of getting it, but more than that, it reduces your risk of spreading it. But it does help reduce your risk of getting it.
Right.
So all these selfish people that think, well, I'm not going to do it for somebody else. It's not just for the other person. It's also for you. And Fauci was on the other day, and he was saying the reason it's so important to get this number down is the amount of viral load that is in the world, whether it's your community, your church, this indoor activity you're doing, or even outside like at Home Depot yesterday. The amount of viral load is important because the more viral load there is, period, on surfaces and in the air and with people, the likelier chance you are of getting it. So the other day, Freda had to have those damn plantains. I wish I had a plantain tree. She eats 2 a day, every day at least. I go in to I said, I'm going to run get them for you. I go to the grocery store. It was packed, and I was very uncomfortable. I ran in. I got a dozen as fast as I could. I sprayed them all down, and I was in and out in 6 minutes because I was able to get. I got in the line under 10. I got 12 of those, and I got in the line under 10 because I knew that if I had to get in that regular line, there was no way to be 6 feet from everybody in the store. So you have to just be aware. And I really shouldn't have even gone in at all. But I'd put it off for 3 days in a row, and I made the mistake of going on a Sunday. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, never on a Sunday.
Never on a Sunday. Oh my God. Let's see what else. Oh, so
The best time to go to the store is like in the early morning, like when it opens at 7.
Well, that's not happening.
But if you can get in there like before 9 o'clock, that's the best time to go.
happening.
I'm telling you, because there's no one in there.
I'm sleeping. Now, CNN poll said the new polls show Biden at 57% and Trump at 41%. That's a 16% spread. That was after the debate, but before the COVID nationally. So it'll be interesting. Now, the debate really hurt him. I mean, he just looked like an elephant in a china cabinet. He was just stumbling and bumbling into everything. And what about the fact that Chris Christie told him that people that have overcome stutter disabilities, the one thing that makes them confused or hurts their ability to communicate is people interrupting all the time? So he said, you just interrupt all the time. They're so nasty that they would try to exploit someone's disability that they spent their entire life practicing in front of the mirror, going to speech therapy to overcome. How nasty do you have to be to do that? I mean, that is just nasty. Oh my God. And by the way, we haven't heard anything about how Chris Christie's doing.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say, it has just come in that he's on a respirator.
No.
Yes.
You're kidding me.
The Daily Mail is reporting it right now.
What? Well, then, you know what that means. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump is responsible for what happens to Chris Christie. Yep. He invited him to that room with closed air, no windows, and had the virus, and did not tell anybody that he hadn't been testing.
I know it.
And Rudy Giuliani, has he gotten his test back yet?
Last night he said he was fine, but he was coughing. But they couldn't get him nailed down to say that he had taken a test.
I saw that a clip on Fox Noise Network, the propaganda state-owned network. If Chris Christie is going to die, if he dies, you can put that on Donald Trump. And let me tell you something. He took 2 bullets for Trump. He was on the transition team that was probably quite organized and efficient. And Trump came in and kicked him out of the White House and put Jared Kushner in charge of the transition team, and then it became a cluster F. Then the second thing he did after Chris Christie forgave him for doing that, he goes in and risks his life to prep him for the debate and now winds up on a ventilator. You're kidding me. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. That makes me sick.
Jamie Anton said that Jake Tapper spoke with Chris Christie and said that he asked him about Biden's stutter situation, and he said that never came up during the debate prep, is what she said that Jake Tapper was reporting when he actually interviewed him about it.
I hope it's true.
Yeah, but I don't know that I would believe him.
You can't believe anything that comes out of the White House.
No.
You know, that's the other
Well,
thing.
that's the thing. We haven't really seen Trump for now going on 48 hours.
But you know, they pre-taped those videos
Yeah, they did.
too. And by
And
the way,
the blank paper he was signing the other night. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just like, you know.
Photo op. It was a photo
It is a
op.
photo op, yeah.
Here,
Here's-
I'm going
we're
to sign
giving-
this big executive order. Look, this is my big executive order. Then he gets that big old Sharpie. He goes like this, and he goes, look, I just want to sign this big, I mean, the guy is crazy. I feel terrible about Chris Christie. I really do. I feel horrible about that. Oh my God. I mean, the guy was young. He's got 2 kids. That is terrible. This is on Trump right here. This is blood on his hands if anything happens. And if the respirator doesn't sound good, or that's a last resort.
And all the officials tied to the White House COVID outbreak say that it was a super spreader event and it has exposed thousands to the virus from Atlanta to Minnesota.
There you go. He's a super spreader. Meanwhile, Trump last night tweeted, "Stop the negotiations. We're not passing one thing to relief package, not one relief package till I'm reelected." So meanwhile, that means $600 in a week that people are supposed to be getting in, unemployment. The $1,200 checks they were giving the people that can't work, and the $500 they were giving people per dependent. He canceled it all last night. Stop the negotiations with a tweet while he's high on the methane drugs.
It was yesterday afternoon before the stock market closed.
Then the stock market crashed.
It swung 670 points.
Dropped like an anchor. So then the guy that runs the Fed tweeted out that the Congress cannot give out too much money. The more you give out, the better chance of a recovering economy. So now Trump sees that tweet and he agrees. I agree 100%. He just tweeted that he unilaterally canceled it. Then the stock market crashes. Then this guy tweets that, no, you need to give out more money. You need to stimulate the economy. People, you don't want to have evictions all over the place and unemployment and homelessness. So then he goes, I agree 100%.
No,
then
the stock
somebody
market's back
called him last night, got in his ear and said, what in the hell are you doing? And he goes last night and says, I am going to bypass Congress and I am going to put this money out there immediately. Like he has the authority to do, number one. And then he says, I'm just going to send everybody a $1,200 check, a single payer item legislation. Well, Nancy Pelosi suggested that 1 week ago.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats worked on this package called the Heroes Package starting in March. This is October and they don't want to hear about it. Now he's going to run to the rescue to clean up this mess he created, take credit for it, after Nancy Pelosi said last week, if we can't pass anything else, can we at least get these people $1,200? Can we at least just do that? And he said, absolutely not. Now he's higher than a kite on drugs, and oh, absolutely. And I want to sign the checks. I can't.
She has responded since we've been doing this because I saw a notification come in, but I don't know what she said or what happened.
I feel terrible about Chris Christie.
But I did see that. But
I really do.
Well, let's hope that he's okay. And
when you're on a ventilator and you're overweight and you have asthma, that is not good. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't know how old he is, but he's not old enough to be dying. He could have lived another 30 years. So listen to this. So I got my hands on this with a little creativity. So you know the food banks that they have. People can drive up and get the food if they need it to be able to stay home and not go out and catch the virus, or if they need it because they don't have income or whatever. Trump decides to put a letter in the food signed from him, like he's giving out the food to you and your loved ones, cherished members of our great American family. This pandemic has brought hardships on so many millions of hardworking individuals, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's the same thing
Together
he did with
we will overcome, and he signs the letter.
Yeah.
Like the food's coming to him.
Just like he did with those letters he sent out with the stimulus checks. Saying that they held them up.
He's acting like he sent the food. Yes, and by the way, the food bank are by donors.
Yeah,
These
it's all
are
about donors. It's
This
not even
isn't
government
governor
subsidies.
money.
Exactly.
And he's signing this like I'm sending you the cheese or the milk or whatever's in the bag. I'm sending this to you, and let me tell you, people believe that. Because I remember when I was little, and my grandmother, she lived to be almost 100, like 99 and a half, and she didn't miss a beat even at 100 years old. She was still going strong. I remember I was a little girl, and I went over to my grandma's one day, and she had this big block of cheese, and she goes, look what the president sent me. President Reagan sent this to me. Well, apparently they had gotten some kind of coupon that you can go and redeem for something, and she got cheese, and she really thought that was from the president. And I was like,
they do that, and you know what? They do it in like rural areas, because where I grew up in
people don't know any
Flatwoods,
better.
Kentucky, and people didn't know, and people don't have money, and people need assistance and things like that. And I remember as a child, you know, whenever the cheese truck came to town, or whenever the government, and you would go out and you would get the things, and these people think it's from the president. I know, my family was the same way when I was growing up.
Let me tell you something. All of these food banks are private companies and individuals donating. One of Roy's clients donated, I forget, $1 million
I saw that.
or something to the food bank in Palm Beach. And Trump's taking credit for it. I mean, are you kidding me? That is disgusting. He is, no.
Marcella Bernardi said here that she has heard today that the food bank volunteers are removing Trump's letters.
Good for them. So here's a story for you. Herman Cain, remember he died? So on 6/24, he went to a Trump rally where everybody was packed inside like sardines, 6,000 people, no mask. On 7/2, which was 8 days later, he tested positive, which means he would probably been sick 2 or 3 days. Then on 7/10, he said that he was improving. And then on 7/15, he said his doctors were very happy with his recovery. Then on 7/27, he said that he was doing much better, and 3 days later, on 7/30, he died.
And I saw a tweet the other night when Trump went to the hospital and said he had COVID. It said, "Don't worry about it, Trump. You'll be fine. Herman Cain's been dead a month, and he's still tweeting."
That's terrible. I do make fun of it, but they're just all stupid. So this Regeneron drug that Trump is on right now, guess what? It is made from stem cells.
Yeah.
So all these
And
right-wing nuts that are anti-stem cell are going to be fine when they're laying up in the hospital and it's the only thing that can save their life. They're going to be the first one with their veins out going, stem cells? I don't care about stem cells. I never cared about stem cells. I can't anymore. Somebody in Brooklyn made a 50-foot long mural of all the false claims that Trump has made by category. So the pink ones would be the economy, the blue ones would be the virus, the red ones would be, different colors. And it's a huge wall. And someone tweeted, Trump finally got his wall. Yeah. But it's a very pretty piece of art.
Oh my gosh, I saw the funniest thing. It was a TikTok video, and it was from one of the nurses at Walter Reed. And she said, "Yeah, you're going back to the White House today." She says, "Because your nurse climbed that wall in Mexico and was taking care of you." And she was going off, and she was making all these references. She says, and I'm from one of your shithole countries, and I had to go give you an IV. And she was doing this whole TikTok video about all this stuff, and that's exactly what it is.
Good for them on TikTok. All right, so we only have a little time, so I'm going to wrap this up. But I just want to say that you should hear what the historians are saying about Trump right now. And then another general came out, and the former CIA director came out, and the former FBI director came out. They're all piling on about that Trump is not stable, cannot handle the country, and has blown it and can't vote for him.
Yep.
So meanwhile, don't forget, we have the big sale on our handbags, and we have a lot of beautiful ones. This one I think is good in a display cabinet, and I think if you open it up, and then you put things inside it, like your brushes, and just leave it on your cabinet. It's very pretty. So there's a lot of them. Go on leablack.com. Remember, we have our big 40% off right now. We keep this stuff for next week. I mean, there's just so much I could go on.
We've actually got the 40% off of the CBD products online, and then we're also doing the complimentary Sudden Youth Complete Lift Facial. And the coupon codes to use for 40% off are Fall 2020, and to get the complimentary Sudden Youth Complete Lift Facial Treatment, you use Free Mask as your coupon codes, and you can combine those for a limited time.
So 40% off CBD with Fall 2020, complimentary Sudden Youth Mask with any $50 order with the code Free Mask, free domestic shipping on orders over 50, and you can combine these for a limited period of time. Now, James did these graphics. I think these are the cutest graphics he's ever done. They're just so cute. I wish I would have gone to the pumpkin patch. I mean, look how cute these are. You got to go on Instagram, and I guess you're all on our mailing list.
Yeah, sign up for our mailing list.
See this? They're just so cute. I mean, I just think I think this is so cute. I mean, I want to make one of those for my house. Meanwhile, my quote, it's hard to be sober amongst drunks.
That's
well,
the
right
truth.
now, I'm going to modify it. It's hard to live amongst people higher than a kite on that oxymethicone, whatever it is that they're on. Customer testimonial. How much time do we have?
You have about 5 minutes?
5? You told me 5.
Six. I went like this. You only saw one hand, probably.
Oh, I only saw one hand. Well, let me go back to a couple of these things I left out then. I was going to tell you that the reason Trump's tanking, $750 he paid in taxes, the debate debacle, the SCOTUS super spreader in the Rose Garden, he came down with COVID, and the constant chaos. That's what the surveys are saying. German survey ranks world leaders. The greatest threat to the world peace. Trump 41%, Kim Jong-un 17%, the Iranian president 8%, Putin 8%, and the Chinese prime minister 7%. Can you believe it?
You know, Putin's birthday's today. Maybe that's why we haven't seen Trump. He's probably jumping out of a cake.
Oh yeah, he's probably over there
Popping out of a
celebrating.
cake like Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my God. There was a 102.39 carat diamond, D flawless, that came out in Sotheby's in the Hong Kong auction. Oh my God. I would wear that on my hand if I had to I had to roll my hand around. Okay. That was the good news. Meanwhile, in taxes, Biden paid over $3 million. Most of that was from his book sales. Kamala over $500,000. Bernie $340,000. Remember the last time Bernie paid over $1 million, and everybody was just, oh, he's a millionaire. Well, that was from his book sales. Yeah. Trump paid $750,000, President Obama paid 1.8, I think it was. So. Yeah, Obama paid 1.8. Oh my God, it's just too much. I can't. Tallahassee, more than a dozen cops were called because 1,000 people were gathered outside in 700 vehicles. They jumped on top of the cars having a big massive party, and they had to have a dozen cops called in to put down the party. No mask, no social distancing, drinking party. I just can't anymore. People are still saying, who paid Brett Kavanaugh's $92,000 country club fee, his $200,000 credit card debt, and his $1.2 million mortgage? Somebody bought themselves a SCOTUS seat. Geneva raised their minimum wage to $25 an hour. How lovely. And Trump took $300 million from the CDC to make ad campaigns with it. Can you believe that? Oh, wasn't that cute? So Central Disease Control. All right, so I'm going to go back because we're going to have to wrap up. We're trying to wrap up because we're trying to stay under one hour here. You know, that's hard for me. I can talk for 1 hour about anything. Just give me a subject. Anything. A customer testimonial, we'll end on that. Leah, oh, I just love that. Isn't that a cute little thing? Okay. I can't believe how amazing your eye cream is. I've been using it for 1 week, and not only am I seeing the results, but my friends are telling me how great my eyes look. I have struggled with sagging skin, dark bags since I was in my 30s. This product has tightened and brought back my natural skin tone. I'm so happy I found your products. I'm going to order the complete collection next. Holly M. from Mississippi. Thank you, Holly. These are all unsolicited, organic testimonials. If you go to my Instagram account, on every Tuesday we post we just randomly post them.
Yeah, we usually pick one that somebody has left, and then you can also see all of them on our website at leablack.com under the testimonials tab.
So go to leablack.com and get that 40% off and get those free goodies and use those promo codes. If you have any questions and you're not sure, just email us at hello@leablack.com. Jason has our best customer service department in the entire world. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right, guys. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. supports muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, powerful liver support, energy, helps blood sugar regulation, superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.